Iain from RTO here. Welcome to another retro ranking where we look at songs more than albums, and we've got a good artist today. It's Mr. Daune Eddy, born in 1938, and he's still with us. And he's known for playing this guitar, the Gretsch, the twang, the great twang, the Gretsch. Now I've been listening to Daune Eddy all my life. I've never not known my life without Daune Eddy. My dad was a huge Daune Eddy fan. My dad plays guitar, and when he retired, first thing he bought was a genuine Gretsch. He's just got a distinct sound, the Gretsch guitar, and that's probably why I love it. He's won so many awards. He was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in '94 and the Musicians Hall of Fame in the museum in 2008. He's won Musical Personality in 1960 at the NNE Poll, Grammy Award for a certain song called Peter Gunn. Nominated for Best Country Instrumental, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame of Member 1994, Rockwall induction. He's just run so many awards and accolades, and he has produced some great music. I think his last one was the Mojo Icon Award UK 2010. So this was a tough one because I like all the tracks, so I've really had to deep search for these, but they're just great tracks. So here we go. Here's my top 10 songs by Daune Eddy. Okay, number 10 then. This one goes back to 1958 from an album called Have Twangy Guitar Will Travel, and it's called Lonesome Road. Okay, he's got that unique tone on the guitar. The drums in this is very jazzy. It's one of the tracks that really gets forgotten about. Unless you've got albums with it on, you're not going to know this if you've only got a greatest hits. It's one of them deep cut tracks. Okay, number 9. This is from 1960 and he released it as a single. Got to number 48 in the USA, but here in the UK it got to number 4, and it's Shazam. Great track. Now my dad used to like playing this. He used to play it because Shadows did a version, so he did it on his Fender. But once he got the Gretsch, he could play it properly. Great track. I love this track. I like the Shadows version of this as well. Okay, number 8. This is another song from an album called Presenting Daune Eddy, and it's called Twisting Anna. This was made for the Gretsch. The bend on the strings, and it's got some great saxophone. Now, Daune Eddy had a lot of saxophone on his tracks. It's just a great track. That bend on them strings, it just sounds brilliant. Okay, number 7. Now this is a really old track. It was actually written by Glenn Miller, and it's Tuxedo Junction, which is one of my favourite songs. I must do a retro ranking on Glenn Miller because I do like Glenn Miller, believe it or not. I consider Glenn Miller the first rock and roll star. When we do Glenn Miller, I'll explain why. But this was off Presenting Daune Eddy from 1958, and it's a really interesting interpretation of this great track. It's really bluesy. He's turned it into a blues song. It just proves that what my thing about Glenn Miller, he was the first 12-bar boogie rock and roll star, because he's just really, really good. I love this track. Okay, coming in at number 6, a single that was released in the USA. He got to number 27 in 1958, and it's Ramrod. Great rock and roll track. Although this didn't chart over here, everybody over here loves this track. It's just typical Daune Eddy, that wow from the twang, absolutely brilliant. Okay, number 5, 1960. This was a huge hit. Number 4 in the USA, number 2 here in the UK from 1960. Because They're Young. Probably his biggest hit in this country. It's not my favourite. I like it, but it's not my favourite. But it's just got a lovely sound to it. It's got the strings and that distinctive twang of the Gretsch. Okay, number 4. Back to 1958. Single. Number 6 USA. Number 19 here. Rebel Rouser. Oh, top drawer guitar work here from Daune Eddy. I love the bass line in this as well. It's absolutely brilliant. Very simple drum beat, but boy does it sound good. We're moving into the top 3, and these are just the killer tracks for me. Okay, a single never released in the UK, but only got to number 72 in the USA. It's 1958, and it's moving in a grooving. That boom, boom. I just love that start. It's just great. The bend on them strings is brilliant. Just a classic track for me. And it was, my dad had this on a single. I don't know if it was the A side or the B side, but it was brilliant. My number 2. Probably people a lot are shocked that it's not my number 1, but it's from 1959. It was number 6 in the UK, and in 1960, number 27 in the USA. It's that great. Doon 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 doon. It's Peter Gunn. Brilliant song. He also had a big hit with this in the 80s with Art of Noise when they covered it. I love this song. It's in lots of films as well. It's in the Blues Brothers. It's from this Peter Gunn, the TV series, and it's just great. And it's made for the sax. But my number 1 song comes from 1966, and he put out an album called The Biggest Twang of Them All, and there was a single on there that he did a great version of The Loving Spoon from Daydream, but it was the B side, and it's the opening track on this guitar was made for twanging, and it's called This Guitar Was Made from Twanging. Absolutely brilliant. It opens up the album. It's just there's some lovely fretless bass in this as well. Just made this song, it's because it says this guitar was made for twanging, and boy does he twang it. It's just one of my favourite instrumental tracks of all time. So there we go. There's some of my favourite guitar tracks from the great Daune Eddy. I have got some honourable mentions though. So my first one is from 1958, another single, number 15 in the USA, number 22 here in the UK, and it's Cannonball. Another quirky little track with lots of distinctive twang, and it's just a great track. Okay, my next one is from The Biggest Twang of Them All, 1966, this album, and it's the Batman theme. Yeah, I love this. Now, this album was played a lot in our house, and now I've got a copy of it. And I just love this. It's a lot of covers, but it's just a great album. And this version of the Batman tune is just brilliant. And my last one is another cover song that he did. It's a very old American song. He released this as a single in 1961. Got to number 39 in the USA, but number 7 here in the UK. And it's the theme from Dixie. It's a great version of it. I love this version. And I couldn't do this without mentioning that. So there we go. Some Daune Eddy. that he's just one of the finest guitarists this world has ever produced. That distinctive sound. Okay, that's all for today, but tomorrow we have got part 2 of Fela Kuti's rundown, and we're going to run down from 19 to number 1. You thought last week's was hard for me, this was even harder. Just an incredible artist. So that's all for tomorrow. Have a great day, everyone, and stay safe and look after each other. That's my motto for today. Bye for now.